Who was one of those who wrote the Liberal Democrats manifesto. I'm intrigued by this poll this morning. People are saying we don't want a Tory victory, we don't want a Labour victory, don't want a Lib Dem victory, we want a hung Parliament. They're saying a plague on all your houses, aren't they?
I think what it reflects is the fact that people are sick and tired of the fact that the two old parties, Labour and Conservatives, have taken turnabout at government for decade after decade, and really nothing ever changes in this country. And in a sense, that's the jumping off point for our manifesto. What we're saying is that we need to do things differently in this country if we're going to get the changes we need. We've been through huge problems in the economy and our political system, and it's about time we put fairness back into our country, and that's what our manifesto is about.
Well, to look at this positive, let's look at this poll positive. The good news for you is that most people want a hung Parliament. If there is a hung Parliament, you could well hold a balance of power. Which way would you swing? With the Labour Party or the Conservative Party?
Well, what we're setting out today are the policies that we'll push for, come what may. The key policies set out right on the front cover of our manifesto and then right the way through the document. Fairer taxes, ensuring that there's no income tax at all until you earn more than £10,000.
Who would you want that from, the Tories or the Labour Party?
Well, look, it's up to the people. What we've said...
You keep saying that, you see. I've heard you keep saying that, but people have a right to... People need to make an informed choice in this election, obviously, about who to vote for. Why won't you tell them which way you'll go? That will help them decide.
Because we want to listen to the people. There are 45 million people out there who have to cast their votes. I want as many of them as possible to do so, because this election is very, very important. The country faces hugely important decisions, and we'll listen to the people. And of course, what's most likely is that one party will emerge with a stronger mandate, more seats, more votes, and in that case, whatever the constitutional niceties, we think that party should have the first chance to form a government. So we'll listen to the people. And of course, if things are very, very close, then all parties will have to talk to one another to try and find a way through the mess the country's in.
You're talking about taking a lot of people out of the tax system, increasing the tax threshold to £10,000. How are you going to pay for it?
We're going to pay for it by raising taxes on people at the top. So we've got a number of ideas. For example, if you take your bonus as a banker in capital gains, you pay 18% in tax on those capital gains. Your cleaner will pay 30-odd% in tax on income and national insurance on the wages they earn in your office.
Well, everyone will welcome that, but that's peanuts. I mean,
that's worth billions, actually.
A massive hole to fill. How are you going to fill it?
There's that measure, which is several billions. There is the mansion tax on homes over more than £2 million. There's additional taxes on aviation. There's taxing pensions tax relief at the same rate, all of which would ensure that we could fulfil our promise to ensure that everyone is £700 a year better off. VAT? We've got no plans at all to increase VAT. In fact, what we say...
No plans now, but you might have to...
Well, we go further than that in our manifesto. We say that tax rises would have to be an absolutely last resort in any circumstances. We would much prefer, and our manifesto sets out in detail how we do this, to fill the black hole in the public finances through spending cuts. We don't think there needs to be more tax rises. We think people need more money back in their pockets.
One last point for you. If you are green-minded, as you are, you're concerned about the environment, why is your leader, Nick Clegg, flying around the country in a jet?
Well, he's flying around the country in a jet and he's travelling by train from time to time because it's very important that he meets as many voters as possible. We were just talking about
irrespective of the impact on the environment.
We were just talking about how there are 45 million voters in this country, each of whom have to make up their minds. He wants to meet as many as possible of those voters, and of course the flights are offset in the traditional fashion so that the carbon benefit is neutral.
OK. Danny, good to see you. Thanks very much for being with us.
Let's take a look at the news headlines you're waking up to this morning. As you've just been hearing, the Liberal Democrats say that their election manifesto will be a